Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, it's cold out, so let's stay in and talk about engineering. I'm Lady Ada, the engineer. We're broadcasting live from the nice and toasty Adafruit headquarters here in downtown Manhattan. With me is the ice cold, yet also super hot, Mr. Lady Ada. I'm also cold and super hot. I don't know. We're like that.
Warm on the outside.
We're like Big
inside.
Macs.
Yeah.
Both the crispy lettuce and the toasty meat. Or something. Anyways, okay, so we've got an exciting show with lots of cool things, rubbery buttons and LEDs and demos and pie beacons and digitizers, all sorts of great stuff. Tell them what's on tonight's show, Mr.
On tonight's show, the code is Trellis. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. Use the code Trellis. Expires tonight, 11:59 p.m. We're going to talk about all the free stuff you can get when you order things at Adafruit. We'll talk about our shipping deadlines and more, a new shipping service we're offering, sort of, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
We have, as seen on the show and tell, we'll go over what was on the show and tell. Pack the mailbag, we'll stop by. We have the Adafruit learning system with some cool stuff, including the Pi Beacon, a new project we just rolled out. We got some LED drums we're going to show off. We got Wearable Wednesday, 3D Thursday. We got Pi Day, as always. We got new products, lots of new products this week. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. All that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
let's do this thing.
Yeah, this is happening.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me adjust my glasses.
Yeah. Let's just first take care of some bills. Use the code Trellis, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store that is in stock. Code Trellis expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Next up, don't forget, folks, we now take Bitcoin. It's working out.
You have cryptocurrency. We have electronics that you can buy with it.
Yeah. There's lots of speculation about what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Is it going to crash or whatever? But you should use Bitcoin for buying electronics, physical things. Right?
While it still has value.
Yeah. So
you can cash in for Raspberry Pis, Arduinos.
Yeah. We do have one special that we're doing because, well, everyone asked for it. And so we were able to extend some stuff during the holidays. So here is the way the deal works. You get a free Raspberry Pi Model A if you spend $250 or more. You get free shipping, UPS Ground, Continental US, if you spend $200 or more. And you get a free PCB ruler for $99 or more. Yes, all those go together. And yes, right now, you can use the code Trellis. So you can get 10% off. And then if you spend $99, you get a free PCB ruler, $200 free UPS Ground, and that's trackable ground shipping, not the shipping that never arrives. There's like weird types of shipping.
It's not like weird shipping.
And then,
it's not postal. I love postal, but during the holidays, postal is like.
And then free Raspberry Pi Model A, $250 or more.
I don't have a Model A with me, but you can imagine it's about this big. It's green. It's got the little USB jack over here.
So there's that. And then one thing we wanted.
They'll stack. They stack. You can use all of them at once. We
wanted to remind everybody is we have some shipping deadlines soon, and you know, there's some big companies out there doing some things with shipping. We were first. We just didn't get our video out in time, so we want to announce a new type of shipping we're offering here at Adafruit, and we have a video. That's right.
It's Adafruit Air.
Adafruit products delivered to your home via drones. The drone that we sell, the Iris.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a great drone. You can carry like at least an Arduino starter kit.
Yeah. A few Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
And a GoPro camera.
And as you can see, it can travel like one soccer field.
Yeah. Most people live within one soccer field. I don't know if you know that. It's a statistic now. World data. Okay. Next up, as seen on the show and tell, we had another full house. The show and tell is my favorite half an hour every week. 9:30 we do this. It's on Google+. Add yourself, show your projects. If you've done an electronic project, it doesn't exist unless you show it on the show and tell.
What I like about show and tell, because I remember when I first saw, what was it? It was like Project Runway or something similar, or like some other fashion thing, and I was like, these shows are kind of cool, but why do they have to be so like mean and competitive sometimes? Like not all of them are, but like a lot of times there's like they kind of try to get the contestants to like backstab each other.
Yeah.
What I like about the show and tell is it's just like 8 people showing off really cool projects in a half an hour. There's no like, damn, that bitch took my like sewing thread and like locked out my machine. I mean,
calm down, Lady Ada.
it's just awesome. It's just like really friendly, happy people showing off cool robots.
There's that famous quote that everyone like makes fun of at reality shows, like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win the competition. On the show and tell, I'm here to make friends and show off my electronics.
Right. This is like, it's all friends. So I feel like I know these people.
So Lady Ada, I want you to tell everybody what was on the show and tell.
Okay, first off, my best friend Tony showed off his CC3000 messaging service using the Amazon Simple Queue, I guess it's called, which is a queuing service, so you don't have to run a server on your Arduino or Raspberry Pi or whatever. You can connect to Amazon and send and receive messages through their queuing system. That's kind of nice. It's a little handy service. And he used our CC3000 breakout to do that with an Atmega. And then my other best friend, Mike, who's been doing a lot of Trinket projects, showed off a little Trinket home alarm system that uses a Trinket and a PIR sensor and 2 door magnets, and sends messages through the UART, so you can kind of track motion and movement in your garage or something from upstairs, and you can like automate stuff, and you can have it, do stuff with the Wi-Fi if you want later. But I like how simple it was, and he put it in a nice little box. It was very cute. And then Robert, who's totally going to be my best friend by next week, showed off his wearable Pi with laser. So he made his own little Raspberry Pi watch. It's a little large, but it's like a pocket calculator style watch Pi, and he has a laser on it. So, take that, Sony or Google Glass. You don't have lasers on your wearable electronics, but this one does, and you can communicate via laser. And then Scott and Alex, who are best friends with each other, showed off their Hacker Scouts project. They made a rocket launcher that uses compressed air and PVC and a solenoid and a Raspberry Pi and a countdown timer. A really cool little project. And they painted it with copper paint, and it was PVC punk. And then Rick Winscott, who's been showing off some really cool thing. I'm not best friends with him, but I'm best friends with his robots. The adorable robots. Check out his awesome robot collection. He makes these super cute robots. And he made a Trinket rover that used these little plastic bracelets as treads, because I was like, that looks like a bracelet. And it was like a chain bracelet, like a basic cheap bracelet that was like $1 or $2 from like a hobby store or whatever, but made for great treads. And it had a little battery pack and a sonar sensor, and it had a little mustache thing, because that's the 2 eyes, and then it's mustache clipped in. So very, very adorable little robots. Noah showed up with a Raspberry Pi connected to one of our 2.2-inch TFT screens. And there's frame buffers now that can run on these little displays. And so he showed off the frame buffer on the 2.2-inch TFT. And it's actually a really beautiful display. I really like the 2.2-inch displays that we have. They're small, 2.2-inch, but they have 320 by 240 pixels. And so he could run a TI graphing calculator emulator. So he was playing, I guess it was a 2D version of Portal that somebody wrote for like the TI-83 or 85, and he was running it. And I'm like, this looks like really cool. So yeah, he had this little graphical game with like running X11, and then this he compiled this TI emulator on top. And then Nahid showed up with her cloud service called Lighthouse, and then it's actually a lot like the Amazon queuing service. It's a way to pass messages back and forth between an Arduino or similar microcontroller over the internet, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, whatever, to a service that sends and receives messages for it, since that's a common problem people have. And then we had a last-minute entry. Eric showed up and was showing off a CCV. It was a vision system that used a webcam, and you could set up the webcam underneath a screen, and then a piece of glass with like a piece of paper on top of it, and then when you touch that paper, it created a shadow, and then it would turn that into a touchscreen. So you can make your own like capacitive touchscreens, and it was some vision system that I can't remember the name of, but watch the show because he mentioned the name of the vision system. So that's kind of cool because it's like a DIY light scattering touchscreen, like the Like the big style that I used are like pervasive pixels or whatever it's called. Basically the same idea, but you can do it at home with a webcam.
Okay. Lady Ada, how do folks get on the show and tell?
Getting on the show and tell is super easy. You can become my best friend, and you can compete a little bit, but you should also be friends by adding yourself to the show and tell circle. And to do that, you can go to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+symbol Adafruit. Look for the post where I say comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. Add yourself, and you will join 303 and something odd best friends.
303.
303 best friends.
You're into this best friend thing here.
I'm just saying that it's not, we're not clawing each other's eyes out. We're like sharing code and doing projects and having a good time.
Okay.
Is that what Christmas is all about?
I'm
Jewish, so I don't know. You tell me.
All participants on the show and tell get an as seen on the show and tell sticker. Just email support@adafruit.com if you're on the show.
Brotherhood and sharing.
Next up, back at the mailbag. Packet is here. Read the mail. Back to Mailbag is bringing you a letter, Lady Ada, and this one is about one of our new products.
Okay.
Today, my Bluefruit Easy Link arrived in the mail. Yay! I had hooked it up to my Menta data logger in under 10 minutes, including soldering the header and JST plug. The pairing on my MacBook Pro was effortless, and using the Arduino IDE terminal, the data was recorded and the SD card echoed back my laptop screen in real time. I'd say you have hit a home run right out of the park on this one. Well done, the whole Adafruit team. That is our new Bluetooth Easy Link, the easiest way to use Bluetooth.
We spent 18 months on this, so you don't have to.
Yeah, we did. All right,
we did.
We're gonna keep moving along. We got a big show tonight. We have 2 gift guides I wanted to highlight real quick. One is the holiday gift guide for photography accessories. The other one is the holiday gift guide for cameras, and this goes over all of the cameras we use here at Adafruit. So if you're wondering what cameras we use to take our photos, and the cameras that we use to do our videos, and the cameras that we do to do the show.
And they're all different.
So we got that going on.
Some are good at some things, some are good at others.
Next up, Adafruit Learning System. Adafruit Learning System has the best and the most tutorials online about learning electronics this week.
How many tutorials does it have?
Oh, that one is 2 something. I don't know.
300.
Is it 300 now?
Over
yeah, that
300.
one. Yeah.
330, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and then those are the ones, and we have a lot that aren't even published yet. They're just waiting.
Yeah, we have to tell us more.
So next up, PyBeacon is one of the tutorials. Lady Ada, what is PyBeacon?
PyBeacon. First off, PyBeacon. Let's go back to that logo. Can we go back to that logo? Look at this great logo.
Okay.
There's actually no official iBeacon logo.
No.
So we couldn't make a mashup of the iBeacon logo from Apple and the Raspberry Pi, so we had to make our own. And this is actually, we actually just basically rewrote, with a little bit of changes, a tutorial that was written by a writer, a journalist on The Guardian, who figured out how to use the open source BlueStack to send iBeacon messages, which is just, actually, it is just beacons. It's just transmitting Bluetooth data saying, hey, I'm ID number XYZ, and like this is, I'm just an iBeacon. Basically, there's no data actually transmitted and received back and forth. It's just sending out data in little bursts. And because Bluetooth Low Energy actually has a pretty good way of measuring strength of messages, it can approximate how far away it is from the transmitter. And so these are used for location data, because Bluetooth Low Energy is only good for maybe 10, 20 meters, maybe a little bit more, but it's not that far. I think it's maybe, if you have really good antennas, 50 meters. But I really doubt it goes beyond that, because it's meant to be low energy. But you can have multiple beacons used this for location data, and Apple actually has not released the iBeacon spec. But luckily, Bluetooth Energy is really easy to sniff, so people have sniffed out how iBeacon works. Because you can use, there's an API for turning something like an iPhone into an iBeacon. So they did that, sniffed what it was sending out, and then now you can make your own iBeacon. So this is basically turning a Raspberry Pi into your own little iBeacon, which is cool because you can use that service if people have iPhone, iOS devices. It's built into the operating system, so you can use it for push messaging and detecting where you are, and like location type data indoors where you may not be able to get a GPS signal. So for example, if you had a store or a restaurant, you could have an iBeacon inside, so that when people entered the store, it would say, hey, you entered Ray's Pizza. So that's basically what iBeacon is for. So this is basically a tutorial on how to make that with a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
It's handy. Or any other Linux computer.
Yeah.
But
next up, on the learning system, we have a new tutorial. It is
PWM drivers.
Yeah, what's this all about, Lady?
This is a tutorial for some PWM drivers we released actually a couple months ago, and we finally wrapped up this tutorial. It's for the TLC 5947 and TLC 59711. PWM drivers, one is a 12 output 16 bits, one is a 24 output 12 bits. PWM drivers are specifically for LEDs. These are not good for servos, but they're great for LEDs. If you want to drive lots of LEDs, PWMing them, and they can also do them in series. So if you have multiple LEDs in series, you can do up to like 20 volts or something, which is super cool. They're chainable, they use SPI, they have like built-in regulation. They're like really very nice actually for PWM drivers for LEDs. So they're very easy. We have libraries, but in case you want some more hookup diagrams and examples, now we have.
Okay. Next up on the learning system, we've got, there's more. This one is, this is from Rick. He was actually on the show and tell too. This is a really cool 3D printed trinket tree topper.
Yes.
Using NeoPixel.
It's a Moravian star.
Yeah, and we have a little video. I have a little video I want to show you.
That's cute.
Yeah, there's a little video.
Animation.
Yeah, so we can look at this real quick. But yeah, you can see it. You can see it animating.
Oh, sorry. So what it is it's if you take like square, like 4-sided points and then 3-sided points, you can and you arrange them in the right way. You can glue them together edge by edge. These are 3D printed, and make a hollow, super pointy star triangle. And I think this is a really beautiful design.
Yeah.
And it's if you use PLA. PLA is translucent. Almost every printer prints PLA, so it's easy to print. And even though the star is, I think it's like this big or so, maybe even bigger, the points are not that big because you glue them together at the end. So this is not a very difficult project to build at all. And you can stuff it full of LEDs or whatever you wish.
Okay, and next up, our team, Noah and Pedro, have outdone themselves again. If you ever saw, all the music stuff for people who do guitar pedals and everything, you always seem to have the most fun, but this is LED drums. This is an animated GIF of it, and then this is one, and we also have a video, and I'm going to roll that now.
Light up your drums with sound. Make your drums sound reactive using NeoPixels and Gemma, Adafruit's microcontroller. This build uses a mic sensor and Gemma to light up NeoPixels to the beat of a drum. Head on over to Adafruit Shop for all the parts and tools needed for this project. Our guide has a tutorial and the Arduino code needed to run this build. First, we need to remove the heads from each shell. NeoPixels are addressable RGB LEDs and can be cut to fit inside our drums. Measure and cut wires needed for each component. Solder each wire to the Gemma. A circuit diagram can be found in our learning guide. Solder 3 separate wires to the breakout pins of the mic sensor. Cutting the positive wire on the rechargeable battery allows us to solder a slide switch for easy powering. Our 3-piece enclosure will house the components. The design can be found on our Thingiverse page. You can also use an Altoids case. Use double-sided foam tape to secure the Gemma in the enclosure. The slide switch nicely mounts into the cover. Attach the hanger to the back of the case. Carefully fit the hanger onto the pin of the drum shell. You can thread the wires through the air hole of the drum shell. For an easy build, use alligator clips to connect the components inside the shell. Tape can easily hold each lightweight NeoPixel strip. Make sure to test each drum before putting the heads back on. Once you have your circuits working, place the heads back on the shells and tighten the screws. Cable tube organizers are great for protecting the exposed wires. We cut small pieces of tubing to secure our wires. The cost of this build is considerably lower than other kits. It's also compact, rechargeable, and mobile. Building sound-reactive LED drums is a great way to get into DIY electronics. If you have an upcoming gig or going on tour, this DIY upgrade is sure to rock the audience.
All right, and we're back. Okay, so that was another fantastic video.
Not just guitar pedals. Now that you know what's interesting? Actually, this is a really cool project because the drums are big and hollow. So like,
Yeah.
You can, there's the little air hole
Yeah.
for the air to come out, so you can actually pass wires. This is a really
Drums were made for electronics.
This is like great. You got so much real estate in there.
Yeah.
Walk
Okay.
out.
We're gonna keep going. Every single Monday, I try to run around here at Adafruit and take photos of manufacturing things that we're putting together. So here's my photos of the week. We got some LED strips. I actually like taking photos of the boards as we're doing testing. These are a bunch of blue fruits. And then this is how we make our tea cobblers. They're in clear cups. And here's a nice close-up. And then you've got Flora. And then Lady Ada, this was something that was on your desk. This is kind of, it's not out yet, don't ask. So what is this?
But I got it working, and you like to come over. Mondays, for some reason, I always get to work on new stuff.
Yeah.
So this
What
was
is this?
something I worked on. This is a combination of actually 3 boards that we'll probably have in the store, and I'll probably also combine them into one. Over there, the light blue board, you can see every time I run protos, I get them a different color. The light blue board with the big chip is an HDMI decoder. It doesn't do HDCP, but it's just a plain, raw HDMI signal, and it will decode it into raw TTL data. So like red, green, and blue data come out on all the different pins in parallel. And then there's a pixel clock. And then I've got, sorry, backwards. This is a 7-inch screen. It's a 5-inch screen. It's the 5-inch screen we have in the store. It's 800 by 400. And it has a TTL connection. So now I can drive this screen from HDMI. So it's basically an HDMI to screen converter. But another really cool thing is this screen has a touch screen laminated onto it. It's got like a bonded on touch screen. And so right below, that's the AR 1100 resistive touchscreen to USB converter that we already have in the store.
Yeah.
I was going to use that, and then I made a breakout to help me debug it. And I was like, oh, I'll sell this in the store. So we got that done. And then now we're working on combining these 3 into an all-in-one HDMI to touchscreen display converter. So it's a process. We're getting there.
Okay. And that's part of the Manufacturing Monday set. I also...
I did a lot of EDID hacking.
Yeah, in some of my previous photos, I took photos of the motor shield, and then a weekend ago, we filmed a video about the Adafruit motor shield, and we have some scenes from the manufacturing here at Adafruit, but we also have you talking about the motor shield. So
Okay.
Here's the video.
Hey everybody, it's me, Lady Ada, the engineer, to show off the Adafruit motor shield. Best way to control DC motors, servos, and steppers on my favorite microcontroller, the Arduino. Why is this so great? Well, we spent years researching motor controllers to create the most flexible motor shield available for Arduino. At the heart of the Adafruit motor shield is this PWM driver, which handles all the electronic speed control, letting your Arduino manage inputs, outputs, and sensors. We paired this with 2 great motor drivers. Each driver can do 2 channels of 1.2 amp up to 3 amp peak at 12 volts. That means it can handle pretty much any kind of stepper or DC motor, no problem. We've got big filter capacitors, so you don't have to worry about noise feeding back into your circuit. For battery power, there's a terminal block that allows you to connect an external battery pack with polarity protection. There's also a prototyping area and 2 servo connections. To connect motors, check out these great terminal blocks. It's easy to screw down, to connect and disconnect whenever you need. Hey, it's a motor party. Each Adafruit motor shield has 2 motor control ports. Each port can control either 2 brushed DC motors or a single unipolar or bipolar stepper. There's also connections for 2 hobby DC servos. Does your project need even more steppers? Not a problem. With this design, you can stack shields. Each shield adds another 2 motor ports. Building your next robotics project is a dream thanks to the Adafruit Learning System, where we've got libraries, examples, tutorials, wiring diagrams, everything you need to get your robot rocking. The Adafruit Motor Shield is manufactured here at the Adafruit factory. Each order is designed, tested, packaged, and shipped out of our downtown Manhattan warehouse. Create your next robotic dream with the Adafruit Motor Shield, available in the Adafruit.
All right.
All right, I totally sold you that motor shield.
Okay, we're gonna.
It is a motor shield that I really love, though. I did an excellent job on that motor shield.
Yeah, you did. You made the best motor shield.
It is a completely stackable DC and stepper motor driver with built-in electronic speed control. So yeah. Whew.
Okay. Next up, Wordable Wednesday. Every Wednesday we have all the news that's fit to wear. So on the blog, we have Wearable Wednesday posts. On YouTube Live, we have Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern at 2 p.m. And we usually have a video too. This week, someone sent in this video of people wearing the Firewalker shoes on Dutch television.
I think this is probably like a Dutch people have talent type thing. I mean, I'm assuming it's a talent show.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And
check out those Firewalker shoes.
Firewalker shoes are out there. We're seeing a lot of people make these.
Yeah, and the guy actually posted a couple times like his making of. Next
up, we had some folks do this cool LED dress. Also works well on wheelchairs and some time-lapse stuff. We've got a, this is a visibility jacket with Gemma. And then earlier in the week, Becky released a video. This was Wearable Electronics gift guide. This is EL stockings. Even Mosfet got one this year. And we have a short video. What do you think Mosfet's going to get in a stocking this year?
This is catnip.
I gave him a little tuna fish today. He really liked it.
He just wants catnip and sitting next to the radiator.
Yeah.
If we could put a radiator in there, I guess.
He likes radiators.
Okay, radiator.
And here's a video.
Hello and welcome to Adafruit's non-denominational holiday wearable electronics gift guide.
Becky, Hanukkah's over.
But I spent so much time on the... Okay, well, never mind. Let's just get on with the rest of the gifts to make and give.
Make an EL wire stocking and fill it with tools for the future engineer in your life. For someone new to wearables, try the Beginner LED Sewing Kit. It's great for learning to work with conductive thread while making a light-up plush toy or hair bow. Use copper tape or conductive ink to craft holiday greeting cards with blinky LEDs. Blinky. Sensitive souls might like the Flora Sensor Pack, loaded with parts to detect light, color, motion, and direction. And any package looks fabulous with an LED ribbon bow. You can now get our sewable NeoPixels in a whole sheet and then selectively disassemble it to create snowflakes suitable for decorating your desk long after the Christmas tree is gone. And who on your list wouldn't love a color-changing scarf or a skirt that lights up when you dance? We've got tutorials for each of those, plus these Firewalker sneakers on the Adafruit Learning System. Snowed in this year? For a more subtle wearable, put a USB drive in a locket loaded with treasured photos or all of Wikipedia. The ultimate gift for a wearables devotee is the Flora GPS Starter Pack, featuring the ultimate GPS module and literally a dozen other goodies to build the project of your dreams.
Home is where the GPS is.
Mosfet wishes you happy holidays and a safe new year.
Okay. And there was Mosfet helping out on camera there.
Mosfet's a little scared of the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out, make some fun projects. Wearables make great gifts.
3D Thursday, lots of news in the world of 3D printing. So this week we had a gift guide, and the gift guide is Software and Resources for Design for 3D Printing. Check that out. We also have a holiday gift guide for 3D printers, and this is all the best selections of and more when you want to get into 3D printing. Some news, and we'll mention this real quick in the new products. The digitizer is on sale, $9.49. Plus tonight you'd get 10% off. So this is too good of a deal. This one really hurts, but it is. They're doing a limited time offer, and we're able to do the same sale. So check that out. Next up, this is a really cute 3D printed project, Abacus.
So handy.
I really like this. And then we had another 3D printing guide. It was all about electronics that you can get and then print out things for them in 3D. So goggles is a popular one. We have watches, and then we have
robots.
Our little robot that Rick did.
Robots.
Yeah. And then next up on Make Magazine, I have my interview with Bree Pettis. And this was interesting. So Stratasys is suing Affinia, and Affinia is a 3D printing company. Stratasys is also a 3D printing company, and it's about certain patents. And there was lots of questions about what is Stratasys going to do? Does this have something to do with MakerBot and all this stuff? So a lot of people just decided to form opinions without any information. The internet's like that. There was people trying to have a constructive debate. There's been people having some personal attacks and all that. So I just said, well, let me just email. I know those people at MakerBot. I'll just email them. So I interviewed Bree, and I asked some really tough questions. I said, can we blame you, Bree, and MakerBot for this lawsuit? So you should check it out, and you should read all of these things. And if you're curious about what a 3D printing company has to do right now, it sounds like they have to just like fight in this like patent war. So us as a company, we're not 3D printer makers. Everything that's involving...
We don't even hold any patents.
We don't hold any patents yet. Everything that is involved with 3D printing right now seems to be in this patent lawsuit world. There was 3D Systems with Kickstarter and Formlabs, and it's just getting. I guess that's what happens when a market gets to a certain point. So, anyways, read the interview, and then make your decisions.
Interesting times.
Yeah. Next up, Pi Day. All the news that's fit to Pi. We got Pi stuff. All right. First up on Pi Day, the new this quadcopter is coming. Everybody has a quadcopter thing now.
Yeah, this quadcopter isn't carrying Adafruit products.
Yeah, this is the Magpie. The latest issue is online, and you can download it. We also have a link to a very cool project. This is Control Christmas Lights online with your Raspberry Pi. Yeah. And then next up, all of the Raspberry Pi Pi TFT shields screens are shipping. And people are using them, and they're really liking them.
We have a lot of people signed up. We ordered. We have more parts on the way. We're going to make more, but they're starting to show up in other people's homes, and they work, and that's really good.
Yeah.
It's good when other people can get stuff working.
Right.
I think we made it real easy.
All right, before we go, the code is Trellis, 10% off everything in stock in the Adafruit store. Someone said the code wasn't working again. Maybe you can try it real quick. Help me out. And I'll check out the comments in the chat room.
That's only if you're watching it live. If it's recorded, it probably is just not working.
Yeah, there are sometimes.
A couple weeks ago.
I get a lot of emails from people who watch shows from years ago, and they think it's live sometimes, which is a little tough on me. But usually they understand after I tell them. Okay, so it's new product time, Lady Ada.
Okay, I got my new product there.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay, so new products. The very first thing that I'm going to mention is, don't forget the digitizer is on sale. It's at $949, and the code still applies, so you can get it for a steal deal. All right, first up, we got these.
We got little alligators. Yeah, these are little alligator clips. I mean, the photos are really good.
Yeah.
Take a photo of it.
Yeah.
It's short. These are shorty alligators, and the reason... Hey.
Whoa.
This is the first time we're using that thing.
Go home, overhead camera.
Hold on.
You've had too much to drink.
Come on. Sync.
There it goes.
All right. So yeah, these alligator clips are shorty, and this makes them easier for a lot of wearable projects where you might want to not have like crazy long wires everywhere. So if you're connecting like a Flora to a sensor or NeoPixels, they're just small. That's it. They're still really good quality. They have nice clips. There's 6 different colors and 2 of each. Good times.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving along. Bitcoin stickers. Bitcoin might not be real, but these stickers are.
Yeah?
Yeah, can you show the sticker?
I will show the sticker.
Okay.
Look at this. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's one of those days. I think if we put something else on the surface there,
yeah,
it'll do better.
I don't know why. Some days it's really good. Anyways, it's a Bitcoin sticker.
It's a Bitcoin sticker.
It's about 2 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
It's sticky. It's vinyl.
You guys get it. All right. Next up, we've got blinky tape.
I'll just hold this one up, so there's no
risk
of confusion.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show a couple photos first.
I'm gonna show some photos. Yeah, I feel bad. Sometimes the camera's really great.
Yeah.
So this blinky tape is basically it was a Kickstarter, and they finally fulfilled all of the obligations they had. And so I was like, okay, now that you fulfill your obligations, we can carry it. And it's basically a NeoPixel with a Leonardo kind of embedded inside of it. And it's just running this rainbow demo right now. But it's a meter-long strip of tape, and it's got a micro USB slot, so I've got the little cable connected up to it. And then I just have it powered up by a little portable battery pack. Do you want to try going to the overhead real fast?
Yeah, we can try.
Let's just try. Come on, you can do it overhead.
No, we're just like, we're in this like no camera zone or something like that.
I don't know. Okay, hold on. So you've got inside of here. There's this little microcontroller, and that's the Leonardo. And then you can see it's kind of got this waterproof, weatherproof strip. I mean, I wouldn't dunk it underwater, but it'll survive being outside. And then micro USB, and so you can just power it that way, and you can also reprogram it. And you can use the Arduino IDE or whatever is your favorite way to program at Megas. You can probably also use straight up C to change the colors and designs, and they have like painting code and demos, and they have like blinkiverse.com or something. So check it out. It's kind of fun. It's just like if you want to just get started with NeoPixels and you don't want to, solder things. There's no soldering involved here.
Okay, next up we got these beautiful pie cases. So they're these really beautiful metal cases. I'm going to show some of the photos right now.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, these are great photos that John Janier took.
Okay.
And this is also a Kickstarter. So we're actually starting to get a bunch of Kickstarter projects because once they've fulfilled their Kickstarter requirements, because we kind of have a policy of we don't do anything with Kickstarter projects until after they've finished and everyone's happy. Just because it's like with Pebble, like having them available before everyone got theirs was kind of sad for backers. So this is a really nice machined aluminum case. The guy who designed it, I think his father owns a factory, and so he's like, hey, we have all this machining equipment. Let's make a really nice aluminum case. And it's got this little adorable topper that goes on top, and it's kind of got this like cool like gridded metal look. It's a nice case. I don't know. It's not a huge chunk of aluminum, but it's pretty nice, and then you can kind of tip it over to remove the top. And you can stack stuff on top of it if you have like a Pi TFT or something, or an LCD. And we don't have it screwed in, but it can screw in the Raspberry Pi into these two holes here that are not screwed in because we wanted to demo it.
All right, next up.
Oh, there's also there's a topper that has slots for the camera and such.
That's nice. Okay, next up, moving right along. We got some more NeoPixels going on here. Blinky, blinky, blinky.
Yeah, 1 second. I have to change out my...
Sorry, here's a photo. Here's another one. Look at the sizes of them.
Yeah, these are little... Wait, where am I? Ah, here it is. These are little mini PCBs with NeoPixel LEDs on them. They're not breadboardable, but if you don't mind soldering some wires, they're super teeny and small. Let me turn on this battery pack, and I will show them off. Just 1 second. They were totally here in a baggie, which was so small that I can't find it. Ah, here they are. Turn this off. So yeah, these are little LEDs. The PCB is really small, so this is basically the smallest way you can get a NeoPixel. And on the back are pads that you can solder to, inputs and outputs. And they're just like super teeny and low cost because of that. There's no extra components on them other than like a little capacitor. But like if you just want like really teeny, they're little buttons. I mean, they're not push buttons, but they're little.
I'm gonna keep moving on to more blinky.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, we have more blinky things.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up.
Hold on, this is now going away.
What are these, Lady Ada?
These are white matrix LEDs. And these are 8x8 multiplexed white LEDs. We got a really good LED supplier, so we can now offer them at a reasonable price.
Do you want me to show these other ones too?
Oh, yeah, can you show the overhead?
Oh, you want me to go to the overhead? Okay.
So yeah, they've got this like yellow phosphor on top of them, and on the back there is, there is 16 pins, and they're multiplexed 8x8. Maybe we can go to...
Let's go to the photo.
This photo. Yeah, I'll show you the photo, because I lost my... oh, can you hide us? Yeah, so you have 8x8, and you can see there's a little circuit board inside. And then the LEDs are multiplexed, and so it's not like you turn one pin on and an LED turns on. You actually have to have a driver that controls the LEDs and multiplexes through them to turn them all on. And for that reason, we have a backpack, which is actually what I'm going to show, because it's and that's in the next set of photos.
Okay, great. So this one?
Yeah, so it comes with a driver PCB, and the driver actually kind of does all the hard, annoying stuff, which is lighting up all the LEDs in order. So I can see if it shows up on the overhead.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So you can actually see it's flickering because it's not noticeable to people, but because of the camera refresh rate. So it has 64 total LEDs, and we're using the I2C backpack. You use only I2C, and you can control up to 8 of them. And we have backpacks for all sorts of LEDs, but now we have white, and I think this is a really beautiful white. It's a really cool white, clean white color. And you can stack a bunch of them in a row to make like a scrolling display. We have code examples for that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Next, this is the big announcement. This is the big product. This is it. Introducing Trellis. This is Trellis's logo. Trellis is a new open source button platform. Here is Trellis in action. And I'm going to show just some photos of the board itself as the data gets set up.
So, let me explain just in case the overhead is being naughty. So there's these rubber buttons that are like rubbery elastomer buttons, kind of like you see on like a washing machine or like a calculator or whatever. And they come in a grid of 4x4, and they're 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. And then there's 5 millimeters in between. So it's like, whatever, 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches by like a 1/4 of an inch tall. And then each button is made out of this kind of translucent silicone. And there's a little cavity inside of it, and so you can fit an LED inside. So if you have a circuit board with LEDs that are spaced the right way, and then you have these conductive pads that can be bridged with the elastomer, you can make a 4x4 grid that's illuminated. And so it's actually a two-part thing. There's the rubber button, and then there's a circuit board. The circuit board actually handles the button pressing and the LED lighting. The elastomer doesn't have any intelligence in it. It's just like rubber buttons. Like it's, it doesn't do anything. It just has these little contacts that can close a switch, and it has the button effect because it's got these the way it's machined. When you press the button, it has a nice little button press effect. I don't know there's some name for it, but it has a little like spring, like a live hinge spring in it. And so the circuit board is what actually does all the hard work of lighting all the LEDs in order and reading the switches. And then if you combine that with an Arduino, which does the actual brain power, you can, for example, light up the LEDs when the buttons are pressed, or alternate the LEDs when the buttons are pressed, and good stuff like that.
Okay, let's try to go to the overhead.
So let me try to go to the overhead.
Okay.
And now I'm going to turn this, so this makes it show up a little bit better. So I can press the buttons, and
this is a cool demo.
They will turn on. So this is the demo that I wrote. This is a demo called like latching demo. So this turns on the LEDs on and off. And this is just one square. So this one square is 4x4, and then the button's on top. But if you want to go crazy, because who doesn't want to go crazy, you can update it to do up to 8 of these panels tiled together. So maybe we have a photo of the tiling at the bottom. Did we get a photo?
No.
Okay.
But maybe you can show it off.
I'll just show it off. Hold on.
Yeah.
I do have to move everything out of the way, though. So give me 1 second. So, okay. Big demo.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so this is, so you can see here's that circuit board, you see the LEDs, and then this one has the elastomer on top, and then you can press all these buttons and each one will light up, and it's like glorious and blinky. So this is 2x2 for 4 total, but of course you can have 8 total, and I just didn't want to solder more up because I was busy doing the tutorial. And it's kind of flickery because there's the refresh, but that doesn't actually show up in real life because it's refreshing faster than people can see.
Yeah.
Let me turn off that so that'll look really good.
That's
okay.
cool.
I think that, one more. Okay, so yeah, now I can, it's all flickery, but it's much brighter. So yeah, you can make projects that have these elastomers, and you can have up to 8x16 or 4x32 grid of LED buttons, and this is for people, because people are asking us, like, well, they want to build like DIY music controllers, kind of like the Monum or a Kai Launchpad or other similar grid controllers, but they wanted to use an Arduino, and they wanted to have fairly small buttons, but customizable LEDs. And so this is a kit where you can change the color of LEDs by swapping whatever color 3mm LEDs you wish. You don't have to use, you know, yellow or green or whatever. You can use the white and the blue look really good. They're kind of too bright here, but they look really nice and sharp.
It's fantastic in person.
Grid it any way you want. The buttons are very squishy.
It's beautiful.
And they have a nice little tack effect, but you don't hear it. It's not like a loud sound. But when you click it, you really feel that clicking effect. So I really like these tiles. And so I think what's cool is that you can just connect as many as you want, because that's what people were asking for. They're like, well, maybe I want to make an 8x8, but maybe I want to make an 8x16. And for advanced users, you can actually make a 16x16 if you do soft I2C on 2 pins, and then hardware I2C on another 2 pins. We just don't have a tutorial for that yet. But it is possible to build a 16x16 grid of LEDs, but as of right now, we only have code for 8x16. So that's the max size, 8 grids total.
Okay. That is new products. Thank you, Lady Ada.
Yay, I got through them. Maybe I'll hold this up.
Yeah, you want to hold it up real quick?
Sometimes things look good on this overhead.
Maybe at the end of the show I can turn it off, turn off the lights or something.
Yeah, it's tough just to
anyways,
see.
Don't forget, everyone, the code is Trellis, 10% off everything in the store, including Trellis. Don't forget we got those deals. Free PCB ruler, free Raspberry Pi Model A, free UPS ground shipping, Continental USA.
Oh, one last thing. Can I just show the tiling on the back? Because we don't have if we have a second while people are asking questions. Okay, come on. Good focus. Oh, yeah, so you can see here the 4 PCBs, they tile on the edge. There's these little fingers on the edge. And when you tile them up together, you just solder, like wire, you just solder over to bridge them to create the tiled connection. So they're really easy to tile. And just each one needs a special address you set with a solder jumper, but that's pretty easy. So we'll build one that's an 8 tile grid at some point. Right now we only have a 4 tile grid.
Alrighty. Okay, Lady Ada, we're gonna do questions real quick.
Okay. Oh, I forgot one more thing about the trellis.
Okay, we're not gonna do questions real quick.
No, it's really fast, because I know a lot of people were asking. The diode, the buttons are diode connected, so they don't have ghosting problems.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Back to questions. I'll ask the first question because it came up a couple times.
What? Is it about the ghosting thing?
Will there be an RGB version?
There will be, but it will be more expensive, and the buttons have to be sized differently because there aren't 3mm RGB LEDs. So we're basically deciding whether we want to go with something that's fully I2C or whether we want to do like a NeoPixel type thing where you have like the LEDs are NeoPixels underneath or what. But we wanted to start with monochrome, and the reason is that a lot of people who are building these projects actually don't need RGB. In fact, a lot of them, because we talked to people who built projects like this, and they said they don't even really use grayscale. So we wanted to focus on something that was lower cost and really easy to use. So the nice thing is that the PCB assembly is only $10 because it's just a basic monochrome 3mm LED driver. And we could always add more later.
Next up, folks want to know how many motor shields or how many shields can you stack with the motor shield?
In theory, it's like 32. I think you can stack up to 32 or 64. I can't remember. But you have power issues at a certain point. So you just have to make sure that if the power has to be individual for each one. Each one has to be powered properly. But in I2C address theory, there's no reason you can't stack 32 shields. Although, you may need some engineering help once you get past 4 or 5 just because of the motors use a lot of power. That's a thing that trips people up more than code when dealing with motors.
Do we manufacture the little tiny NeoPixels?
No, those are not manufactured in-house.
Those are components we get, and then we put them on a variety of different things.
Yeah, those are little buttons that we don't make. We make other NeoPixel stuff, but we don't manufacture the tape here either.
Yeah. And then another question was, so with the tiles, once again, what's the maximum amount that you could do?
You can tile 8 boards together on one I2C bus, and most microcontrollers only have 1, so that means 8 tiles, which allows you to have basically 8 by 16 buttons, because each one is 4 by 4. If you were to use software I2C, or you have a device with multiple I2C buses, you can have 8 per I2C bus.
Okay, next up, how do I get a 4x20 LCD to shift left using the Adafruit LCD library and associated example?
It should just be, I think there's some code in one of there's like 16 examples, and one of them shows how to do the shifting.
Okay.
It should be just like a 16 by 2 LCD.
Yeah, if you get the LCD from Adafruit, just post up in the forums, we'll be able to help you.
Yeah, it's a code thing. A lot of people don't use the shifting function, so I don't remember. I usually just buffer it and then just rewrite the whole screen.
All right.
Because of the way the memory works, where it's like, it wraps around.
How many patents do we own?
I own 0.
0.
I own some patent leather shoes, though. And there's 2 of them. So it counts as 2.
Let's see. Are you worried that SparkFun might start patenting their products? Should we be worried about our open source contributions to the community that will be patented by Adafruit in the future? So the first thing, I'm actually not worried about SparkFun patenting stuff, because they're very philosophically aligned with Adafruit. They're not into patents. Their CEO, Nathan, has spoke about how the patent system needs to be reformed. Lady Ada spoke with the president about the patent system being reformed. So we're actually not worried about it. And I would say that between the 2 companies, that would just be the end of all of us if we started doing that. Also, there's not a lot to patent.
There's a lot of open source project contributions are not super patentable anyways.
And then next up, and because this is all recorded and published, this is always fun for me to say, does anyone need to be worried that Adafruit will patent open source contributions to the community? No. In fact, and don't believe us, just watch our actions. We don't do that. And so
I don't even see how I could do that. That doesn't even make a lot of sense. If it's open source, it's open. I mean, I'm not going to.
If it's open source and it's
you
published,
don't have to GPL3 it to do that. I mean, if it's under MIT or BSD license, I'm not going to patent somebody's software or whatever that they wrote.
And we've, from the start, built a company without the need for patents. Some companies and some industries, they're built on patents and intellectual property lawsuits and things like that. Ours isn't. We built a company on the idea that people are probably just going to clone us because we post the files in the code.
Also, like, what's the point of selling something that's patented? It's like, then they can't use it in their projects or products. That's like not what we do. Like the whole point. The whole reason I like open source is it's like there's no restrictions. Like there's people who run companies and use our products and code. Like the Blinky tape, for example, uses our NeoPixel library.
This was a successful Kickstarter that used our code.
Uses the Arduino bootloader
and look how well it worked out. So they did a Kickstarter. They had our code. They made a successful Kickstarter, and then we're buying their products. So this is how, when someone says like, "Oh, you guys are crazy for giving away everything, and maybe you should patent everything," we always say, "Well, in the word ecosystem is a crappy word, but it is true." So because we put out a lot in the world, we get back a lot. So that's what I would say. You can get a company to $30 or $20 million and never have a patent. It's possible now. Not for everybody.
I think that
it is for us.
It's cooler seeing how things spread around.
Yeah.
Not using patents.
So next up, when will Floor be back in stock? As soon as we make more, we're going as fast as we can.
I think we're making some more. I think we sold out.
Next up, do you have any plans to sell a fully open source 3D printer? If folks know a really good one that has great service and support and we can get good margins, we would love to sell all sorts of 3D printers. The problem right now is, and this is something we're deciding, is all 3D printer companies are in the middle of lawsuits, and so what do we do? You know,
or under threat of lawsuits.
Or under threat of lawsuits. Yeah. Like, that's kind of tough for us. Next up. Any thoughts on a defensive patent license? Well, this is one of the things that we were thinking about. If we do come up with something that's really interesting and cool, we would probably put our patent, if we ever got a patent, in a defensive patent pool. And maybe if we all got together, we could reform the system. Kind of the way open source licenses use copyright in a very clever way.
Yeah.
So you could turn copyright into sharing.
The problem is that I don't know how. I mean, if there's a defensive patent pool that makes sense for your industry, then hopefully that would make sense. But yeah, it's tough. It's like, you know, especially now with first to file, it's not even. You can invent something, and if you don't file, somebody can file it afterwards. So it's like you almost are kind of forced to to patent anything that you can.
Yeah, and just like other bit of follow-up, you know, when companies take venture capital, it's all about what value, and the value is usually like, what's your intellectual property? So both Adafruit and Spark Fund have not taken venture capital.
Yeah.
So we don't have to have this war chest of intellectual property that we're pumping up value on because we're getting sold or there's shareholders and all that stuff. So it's just different. It's not right or wrong. It's just a different business. We're in the business of shipping products.
Yeah.
And hanging out with patent attorneys all day would be no engineering.
I'm sure they're fun, but yeah, not for us.
Okay. Next up, trinket and trellis. How many?
I don't understand. Infinite.
Infinite. Okay.
Good answer. 8.
All right.
16. 24.
And then that's it. We're gonna wrap up the show now.
Okay.
All right. Those are all good questions.
Yeah. I'm just putting all these things away.
You want to put that stuff away?
Yeah. I still have tidying up after the show's done. Whee!
Oh, I see what the problem is. You know, maybe our code is case sensitive.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I never saw that before. Anyways, try trellis lowercase if it's an issue.
Oh,
I've never seen that one before.
who knows?
All right. It's giveaway time, Lady Ada.
Okay.
Oh, how many trellis will work with a trinket? That was the question, sorry.
You should be able to have 8.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have it working yet. So.
Okay. Trivia question time. Lady, what are the rules? Rules.
Rules are if you've won before, you cannot enter again. You can only get 1 prize per lifetime. First person with the correct spelling and such in the chat, the IRC chat, wins the prize. The prize tonight is a trellis and elastomer. How about that?
Oh, okay.
What?
Just the buttons?
No. You get the PCB and the PCB and the buttons.
So it's a full trellis, the trellis.
Yeah, you get.
It's a trellis and everything you need.
Yeah, you get like this rubbery thing,
Uh-huh.
and you get the circuit board. So you just have to solder on some LEDs, and you're having a good time.
Should we throw in LEDs?
Yeah, sure.
Whoa. Crazy Lady Ada is throwing in everything.
Okay.
Here's a trivia question, and this is how you're going to find it out. What camera are we using on Ask an Engineer right now? It's in John Engineer's camera guide, and you have to just type the name of the camera that we're using for this right now.
Yeah.
Very meta.
We're looking at it right now. We can't point the camera at itself, so.
Yeah. So while we're doing that, just a quick reminder, the code is trellis. I think some folks need to log out and log back in because there might have been a code issue.
We'll figure it out as soon as we.
Yeah, and if you place your order and it's before midnight, don't worry, we'll take care of you.
Figure it out.
But that's a code trellis, 10% off everything in stock in the Adafruit store. So someone is going to the website right now. They're going to the gift guide section on adafruit.com/blog. They're looking at the camera gift guide. They're seeing which camera it is. I think we even talked about this on the show.
You did, but I don't know if you said exactly like the model
This
number.
is the prize.
Get this pie out of here. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, let's see who gets it.
Nice case. It's a nice aluminum case. Looks a little bit like those old Mac towers. What were they called again?
The G5s.
The G5s, yeah. It's got a little bit of that G5 look for people who.
It is not the Logitech HD Pro webcam. That is what we use for the overhead.
Yeah.
For this HD one that we're using for Ask an Engineer, what is it? Maybe we won't have a winner. Who knows?
What? I don't believe it.
It's very possible.
Okay.
Maybe you can light up that again.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I started putting stuff away, but I can do that.
Yeah. And while we're waiting for folks to get the prize, how can you solder QFN chips by hand?
Lots of practice.
Lots of practice, Lady Ada says. Everybody won already. That's funny. When will the Raspberry Pi touchscreens be back in stock? We're making them very fast.
Making them sign up. You'll be notified as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people signed up, and everyone who signs up buys one or two.
It's not a D5 100. It's not.
Okay, you want to go to the overhead?
Will someone? Yeah, I want to show the trellis. All right.
Okay, hold on.
Light it up.
Bleep, 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 bleep. Wait. No, hold it. Center. Wait.
All right, if we have no winner within a minute, we're going to hold this prize until next week.
What?
Yep.
Oh my God, you're totally holding the prize hostage.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
It's a Panasonic DMC GH3 is correct. Congratulations. Email support@adafruit.com and you get the prize.
A Lumix.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You get one of these.
Yeah.
Pick your color when
Yeah.
you order. I suggest blue or white. They look
All
the best.
right.
Red looks good too.
Next up, we got to get out of here.
I know.
So, thank you everyone who was on the show. Thank you all the folks that were on the show and tell. That was fantastic. Thank you everyone at the Adafruit team who makes this show possible. Thank you all the customers and folks in the community. If there's any issues, log back out, log back in. You're using the code. But I'm
We will go and test it out.
looking at orders and all the orders are coming in fine. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I think a couple of people had a couple issues. Maybe it was.
Maybe it's just you.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the code, it's you.
Yeah, you know, the challenge is because we're broadcasting in HD now, there's also a delay with how until they see the question. And so it's really hard to give out live trivia. It really is.
I know we're doing HD and it's
Yeah.
like super high res and
Yeah.
okay.
So special thanks to George who does all the recording on the show. And thank you everyone else out there. We'll be back here next week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
My
Show and tell,
Arduinos.
9:30. As always, we have a picture of Mosfet. We're going to see him in just a couple of minutes. Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah.
And here is your moment of Zener.